Hello friends, 2024 is coming to an end. 2025 is going to start a new beginning, a new year. 2024 has been a very challenging year for all the businesses, particularly for GST registered persons, where the taxpayers have been flooded with GST notices. So I have made few suggestions on how to avoid GST notices. GST notices cannot be completely avoided, though you can take precautions and ensure the chances of getting the GST notice are minimized. So I have made some 25 pointers. So we will directly jump into those pointers and suggestions. First and foremost, file GST returns on time. File GSTR 1 outward supply on time, GSTR 3B a summary and your return on time. So this is the first suggestion, file your returns on time. Maintain proper documentation. Have records, have any transaction, any supply, keep the documents and the records properly in handy. Ensure invoice compliance. If you are required to generate e-invoice, generate e-invoice or a normal tax invoice, ensure you comply with the invoice generation formality. Match your input tax credit. Most of the notices what you receive is the mismatch between what you have claimed and what is there in 2B. So ensure you match your input tax credit, reverse it, reclaim it, have all the records, disclose it properly in the returns. Avoid excess ITC claims. Don't claim any ITC in excess of your eligible ITC. Whichever is ineligible, please reverse it. Many a times you claim an ineligible ITC thinking the department will not know, but ensure you don't avail any ineligible ITC. Pay the right tax. Pay the right tax, pay the tax on time. Know your supplier, very important. You should do a background check of all your suppliers wherever possible, because if you don't get your credit for all your inward supplies, then you cannot take the input tax credit what you should have got. So have a proper background check, know your supplier very well. Use your correct HSN and SAC codes wherever it is required to be disclosed. Stay updated on GST changes. GST is a very dynamic law. Very frequently it's changing because it's a new law. So ensure you are updated with the latest changes, or you have a team which is updated with the GST law. Generate e-way bill correctly. Don't make mistakes while generating the e-way bill. Wherever it is compulsory and there is a movement of goods and you are supposed to generate an e-way bill, please generate the e-way bill. Report accurate turnover. Whatever is as per the books, whatever is actual turnover, report the accurate turnover. Avoid fake invoice practices. On the urge of increasing a turnover or getting more credits, many of the taxpayers tend to get in the trap of getting those invoices or generating invoices where there is no supply. Avoid such things. File nil returns. If there is no transaction during the year, file nil returns. Reconcile GSTR 1 with GSTR 3B on a monthly basis. Ensure your GST registration details are up to date and all the correct details are mentioned in the registration. Monitor notices in the portal regularly. There is no much time given by the department to reply to such notices. So ensure on a very regular basis you check the notices in the portal. Have a proper internal audit mechanism where the processes, the procedures what you follow are verified and a suggestion is given by the internal audit team. Either it can be internal or an external. Classify your goods or services correctly. A misclassification may lead to a demand in future, so classify it properly. Hire a competent GST consultant who has good knowledge and have a control over the subject. As far as possible, avoid cash transactions. Submit annual returns on time. 9 is an annual return. 9C if your turnover crosses 5 crores. Track reverse charge. So reverse charge mechanism for goods and services where the receiver pays the tax. The list of items covered under this reverse charge mechanism is increasing on a very regular basis. Keep a track of that. Ensure you don't miss paying any tax on reverse charge. Not to tell about this more, avoid tax evasion tactics. One day you will fall into the trap. Train your staff. Train your staff is the mantra today. Your staff should be equipped with the latest changes. Send them for training sessions. Have an in-house training. But equip your staff, train your staff on a regular basis. Maintain records for 72 months. You should have records, all the records which is required as per law for 6 years, 72 months from the due date of filing the annual returns for that particular year. After doing all this, taking all these precautions, still you get a GST notice. I have made another 25 pointers and suggestions on if you get a GST notice, how to face it. First and foremost, read the notice. Many times what happens is as soon as you get a notice, you rush to the consultant, you rush to the department officer, you tell him, you get panicked and you just tell him you have received a notice. Be calm. Read the GST notice. See what is the allegations put on you. Verify the deadline what is mentioned. Give your reply well within the deadline. Identify the reasons the allegations made on you in the notice. Gather relevant documents. So whatever details has to be provided in the reply, gather the relevant documents. Reconcile the data if it is required to make things clear to the officer. Consult a GST expert if required. Respond online. GST is most of the time the notices and the communications are online. But you may see situations where you may get a notice in a mail or in a form of letter. If it is coming in mail, reply through mail. If it is in portal, reply only in the portal. Please don't respond to any calls or any communication received from a personal email ID or communication. Provide complete information. This is very important because you give half information, part information, it is not going to help you. Give complete information. If any mistake has happened, rectify those errors. This is a chance for you to rectify those errors. If the time limit given for the reply is not sufficient, ask for further time, ask for extension. Most of the time, they comply to your request and give you time. There is a department audit which happens. Don't get panicked. This is a normal procedure as per law. Prepare yourself for such audits. Avoid non-compliance. Make your procedures in such a way you comply with most of the legal matters, legal aspect regarding to GST. Avoid meeting officers unnecessarily. Remove from your mind the old practices, the old traditions of meeting the officers and doing a handshake. Avoid meeting the officers even if they call you. Review the future compliance. All your communication should be very professional, very accurate, and up to the point. Ensure you represent your case properly. So there is a professional representation to your case. Don't get panicked. There is a tendency when you get a notice, you get panicked. Don't get panicked. There are some information which the department, the officer may seek. Give the information. You give the information properly and in completely, they will accept your reply. No corruption. Try to give the reply as per law. Give the as per reply in portal or in your in the communication, in a formal communication how it received. Like I previously told, try not to meet the officers. So avoid shaking hands with the officers. Any filing mistakes, rectify if the opportunity is there. Regularly check your GST ledgers in your books of accounts and reconcile and compare with the returns filed. If because of any delay, any interest or any penalty is paid, keep all your communication with the department handy and keep the record of it. After your reply, there may be some follow-up notices issued. Monitor those notices. Orders will be passed, may be favorable, partly unfavorable, completely unfavorable. Whatever order is passed, see what is that orders. If any notices, if any orders, appeal has to be filed, please file the appeal on time. Learn from past mistakes. So any mistake which you have done, you have identified. Don't repeat the mistakes. Identify those mistakes and don't repeat those mistakes again. So with this, focus on your business, keep your processes and the compliances of any law, particularly GST in the today's situation. Ensure you focus more on your business and not on giving replies to note. Of course, you have to give replies to the notices, but if you focus in streamlining the processes and the suggestions what I have given, if you try to comply that and implement that, the chances of getting the notices will be very minimal and your focus on doing business and improving your business will be more. With this, I wish each and every person a very, very happy new year 2025. Have a fantastic new year and let's hope 2025 will bring more business and wealth and happiness to everyone. Thank you so much.